Hey, welcome to another episode of Chad's Beer Reviews, continuing with the BJCP style guidelines. We're on style 11B, best bitter. And for that, I got one of the most well known of the examples of the style, Fuller's London Pride, one we can actually get here in the States. Um, Fairly fresh bottle. We can never get it super fresh, but this is the freshest I could find it, and it's actually pretty good. All right, so let's go right into the category or style guidelines here. 11B, best bitter overall impression. A flavorful yet refreshing session beer. Some examples can be more malt balanced, but this should not override the overall bitter impression. Drinkability is a critical component of this style. If you look at the comments, history, all that stuff, very short on this one. Comments are just, one sentence? More evident malt flavor than an ordinary bitter. This is a stronger session strength ale. They already said that. History, see comments and category introduction. Characteristic ingredients. This is the exact same description as the ordinary bitter, so I'm not even going to read it. Style comparison. More alcohol than an ordinary bitter and often using higher quality ingredients. Less alcohol than a strong bitter. Man, they're really stating the obvious here. More caramel or base malt character and color than a British golden ale. Emphasis on the bittering hop addition as opposed to the aggressive middle and late hopping seen in American ales. Let's look at the vitals. 25 to 40 IBU, so that's like, pale ale range, 8 to 16 SRM, so definitely a little bit darker than your average lager. So let's go get this in a glass, and I'll be right back. All right, so I've got the London Pride in the lager glass here. Let's just dive right into it. Well, it definitely smells much, much better than the Bluebird from the other day. Huge malt on this one. Very sweet smelling. I get like a lot of caramel or toffee, something in that kind of confectionery range. Very kind of flowery, floral hops. Nothing spicy, certainly nothing citrusy like American hops or anything, but there might be like a faint kind of butterscotch. I mean, it doesn't smell like straight up, butter, but and it could be like a combination of, so if it is diacetyl, it could be a combination of that and the malts or, just that natural toffee confectionery. It smells really good. So very malty and a little bit of hops in there. Let's check the specs. Aroma. Low to moderate malt aroma, often, but not always, with a low to medium-low caramel quality. I would agree with that. Medium, well, let's say medium-low. I think it's a little bit stronger than that. Bready biscuit or lightly toasted malt complexity is common, but not necessary. Mild to moderate fruitiness. Yeah, a little bit of red apple in there, maybe. Hop aroma can range from moderate to none, typically with floral, earthy, resiny, and or fruity character. Generally no diacetyl, though very low levels are allowed. Okay, so, there's a little bit, like I said, a little bit of butterscotch in there, but it's going with that natural kind of caramel component. I mean, they mentioned toasty, but I really don't get that. I mean, bready or biscuity. So, yeah, really nice. What am I gonna give this here? I'm gonna go 10 out of 12 on aroma. Appearance, well, they describe it as a tawny color on the website. I agree with that. I mean, it's kind of a pale copper, very clear, probably about a 7 to 9 SRM. Yep, it looks like 9 exactly. Yeah, so 7 to 9 SRM. Had about a 2-finger head when I poured it. Good looking beer. Let's check the specs. Appearance, pale amber to medium copper color. Good to brilliant clarity, true. Low to moderate white to off-white head, true. May have very little head due to low carbonation. And SRM 8 to 16, so it's definitely in range. So I'm going to go full 3 out of 3 on appearance there. And now we get to the best part. Cheers. All right, so the first thing I get, it's kind of like bready, malty sweetness, but it's kind of like in the same vein as the German box and stuff. But the British ale yeast, they have a lot of their characterful, as they call it in the specs here, giving some fruitiness. So like a tiny little bit of red apple. I don't mean that as like acetaldehyde or anything like that. So just kind of like, to me, it's always kind of been like an appley kind of taste. Apple, I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to say a caramel apple, but so like the apple is just kind of faint in the background. Up front, just get a little bit of like a bitterness, enough to just kind of, let you know that it's there. And then as it's going down, gets a little bit stronger. So it's kind of like the same kind of bitterness and hop intensity as like a pale ale, but much sweeter than American pale ale. Yeah, it's pretty good. Let's check the specs on here. Flavor: medium to moderately high bitterness. Probably put a medium low. Moderately low to moderately high fruity esters. Yeah, so somewhere in between there. Moderate to low hop flavor, typically with an earthy, resiny, fruity, or floral character. I'd probably put it fruity floral. Low to medium maltiness with a dry finish. Low to moderate caramel or toffee flavors are optional. Let's see, they said moderate. Okay, yeah. Balance is often decidedly bitter, although the bitterness should not completely overpower the malt flavor, esters, and hop flavor. Generally, no acid, although very low levels are allowed. Let me take one more sip here. Yeah, it's interesting because like the specs are all like talking all about the hops, and there are plenty of hops and bitterness in here, but to me, it's like a little kind of lopsided as far as, you know, here's malt, here's hop. I think it should be the other way around, like close, but you know, not perfectly even. So, yeah, it's dropped. I think the hops have dropped a little just from the age of the bottle, but to me, it's still, I mean, it still tastes good, and it's, you know, mostly within the specs there as far as the details. Flavor, I'm gonna go, 15 or 16. I'm gonna say 15. We'll come back to that. Mouthfeel, probably put about medium light body, low carbonation, medium low carbonation, very smooth. I wouldn't call it refreshing, but I mean, it's definitely sessionable. It's 4.7 in the bottle. Yeah, 4.7. It's 4.1 on Cask, which I would love to try sometime if I ever went over to the UK. So, yeah, really easy to drink, and let's check the specs. Mouthfeel, medium light to medium body, low carbonation, although bottle examples can have moderate carbonation. So it's right there for the mouthfeel. They don't really say much else besides that. I'm going to go 5 out of 5 on mouthfeel. All right, so overall impression, I'm going to say 8 out of 10. That comes to a total score of 41 out of 50, which would be a 9, but I can't honestly say that this beer is a 9. I think it's more of like an 8, or I should say this bottle is an 8. So I'm going to drop the flavor down to 14. That gives you a total score of 40 out of 50, which is an 8 in my book. So yeah, I can't honestly say that this particular bottle right here is a 9 out of 10, but it's a solid 8. Like, I really like it, and it's, you know, mostly the spec. I think it's just a little old, and because it seems a little out of balance as far as what the specs say, but I mean, everything else is there, and it's, you know, easy to drink, fun to drink, and, you know, it's within the guidelines for the most part. So, yeah, 40 out of 50 for Fuller's London Pride. 8 out of 10. You know, very good beer. Not absolute world class, this particular bottle, but if you have it on Cask in the UK, I'm sure it probably is. So, that's all I got to say about this beer. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys whenever. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it, Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Review. Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.